Petro, we can hear you now. I think loud and clear, and you can proceed with your presentation. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. So thank you first of all for the invitation. I will approach the subject from a different point of view, from the point of view of the customer that is using an electrical vehicle. So working in automotive industry always comes with one feature. You always receive questions from your friends like, what car should I buy, or what is that noise that I'm hearing? So one day, it is a true case. One day I received a question from one friend asking what the car should he buy for a daily use. What would I recommend? So I give him as a recommendation to buy a Renault Zoe, and directly he gave me the answer that the range is too low, and when the range of a EV will be similar with a combustion engine vehicle, he will consider buying one. So the answer I received is a typical one for the people that are forming the majority adopters. And I decided in that moment to see why are they still blocked in the first hard point of the electrical vehicles, the range. And my first discovery was that they compare the absolute value of the range, and that's it. But if they need the range of the petrol or diesel engine vehicle, is not for them in discussion. How often do they have full tank on their vehicles? I don't know. And how often do they drive 800, 900 kilometers without any stops? So I decided to do some research, and I looked at on some studies in order to see which is the average driven distance today in Europe. And on the graph on the left, we can see that some results of a survey made in 6 countries, and in each country, 600 individuals answered to the survey. And we have an average daily driven distance between 40 kilometers and 90 kilometers. It depends on the country because it's different infrastructure, cultural behavior. So in average, in Europe, we can say we talk about 60 kilometers daily use of a car, which is not that much. Further on, I found another study that is showing that during the last years, there is a decrease of travel distances almost in all countries in Europe between 2000 and 2017. So it seems that the range of the EV is increasing, but also the travel distance that the customers are doing is decreasing. So, in my point of view, it's another positive point in favor of the EV. So, I started to look now and do a simulation, so to say. What does it mean to use in urban environment an electrical vehicle compared with a classical vehicle? And I took for comparison a Renault Zoe and a Renault Clio. Knowing that from the study that the average daily driven distance is 60 kilometers, I took from the platform plugshare.com the map of Bucharest, and I selected only the Renault Zoe compatible plugs, and I noticed that there are many in this moment. I put in the input data the range of the vehicles, which are declared by the manufacturer, 395 for the Zoe and 900 for the Clio. And took also the information about the charging capacity, time of charging for the Zoe. For the most optimal usage, between 20% and 80%, rapid charging 37 minutes and fast charging 1.5 hours. So for the urban use, it is clearly that you can use without any problem the EV, the electrical vehicle. It is more than enough to use it 1 week and charge it only at home in the weekends or 1 day of a week when you choose. And why not? You can have another plus like not paying for the parking and not paying taxes to enter the city center. So for urban use, it's ideal. Normally, my friend said, okay, but I don't want to buy a car and not be able to do short trips. It is for daily use, but I want occasionally to do city breaks at the seaside, for example. So I go further on and simulated a city break, a short holiday at the seaside, and I took a longer route. I took a route that is very often made by the Romanians from Bucharest to the seaside in Greece, to Tassos. So in this case, the things are getting a little bit complicated, but not impossible. There is the length of the route, 600 kilometers, which already exceeds the range of the Zoe. But we still must consider that in order to have a comfortable trip, you cannot do 600 kilometers from one shot. You need to do one stop, a minimum one stop on 300 kilometers for rest. Afterwards, I've gone back to plugshare.com and planned my trip. They gave me the number of plugs. I was pleasant surprised to find out that there are plugs down the entire way through all the countries. So I divided the route in order to charge the battery always between 20% and 80%. And I came to the conclusion that I need to do 3 stops. So one stop was already for rest. So extra two stops to do in order to manage the range of the Zoe. So let's say there will be 2 hours, 2 hours and a half extra on a 10-hour route. This is only if it is enough to have one stop every 300 kilometers, which cannot be very realistic, especially if you travel with kids. So it can be often. So maybe it is not that easy on the longer route. But I came also to a conclusion which I put in form of 3 questions that are very often put regarding the EV. The first one is, how does the EV range compare to fuel cars? So the range of the EV is increasing rapidly, and we can see that in the evolution past evolution in the past 5 years. And the studies are showing us that also the travel distance by personal car is decreasing. So this question can be put to rest for the moment. The second one is, are there enough charging stations? So yes, depending on the scenario, the daily driving distance is low. So the question is less relevant for the urban usage. You can simply charge it at home overnight without having to visit a public charging station at all. Furthermore, the charging stations number is increasing rapidly, as we could see on the photos, across the world, and it means this concern will only become less and less relevant also over time. And the third question is the speed of charging. Is EV charging fast enough? So, as we saw in the previous presentations, the technology and charging times have also improved significantly in the last years. And already we talk about ultra-fast EV chargers with the capacity of 150 kilowatt or higher. So it means that we'll be able to charge an EV in some minutes and not hours. So EV today is practical to use in the city, but for medium travel distances, it can be a challenge. The question now is if we are up to this challenge, and maybe if we are not, we can go to a hybrid car. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Petru, for this very interesting presentation. We have a question from Marta. Maybe you can answer it. You can ask it directly. So I can ask you to unmute. Marta, can you hear us?
Yes, I hear you.
Yes, so please.
Yes, thank you very much. My name is Marta Żurek-Fomortka. I'm from University of Technology and Humanities in Radom, but from Faculty of Transport, Electrical Engineering and Computer Science. I have a question for a presenter. I would like to know of your point of view, what is the better for electric vehicle battery, fast or rapid charging? As you can show on the, I don't know what, on the page. Oh, here. Rapid charging and fast charging. What is the better for electric vehicle battery?
From the point of view of the health of the battery, you mean? Hello?
Yes. I would like you to know your point of view.
And it will be very hard for me to answer because I'm not very specialized in this domain in order of batteries, in order to give a precise answer. From what I know, there is no big impact in short terms if you do a rapid charging or a fast charging. But as I said, I am not an expert on that.
Okay, thank you. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Marta, if I can make a point here about the fast or rapid charging, I think it depends on the battery technology. And the first one is we need to be sure that the battery can take the rapid charging. And the second one is the issue with the grid. So in order to perform rapid charging, we need to have a great load of electrical supply. So
yeah, right.
To be sure that we have all the infrastructure to provide such a thing. But I agree with Petru in the sense that when we use electric vehicles, somehow we are all drivers, and we do not intend to change our driving attitude and behavior because of shifting from the conventional to the electric vehicle, meaning that as we now go to a petrol station and we fill in the car in 5-10 minutes and we're ready to go, we tend to think that it's important to have the same pattern with electric vehicles. So I agree with you that this is an important issue as regards the drivers, and of course the technological road is to go to rapid charging. The technology is present, but still needs to take into account several aspects concerning the grid. Okay, so thank you very much. We can proceed to the next presentation.
Thank you.
Which is from Alexander Czapczyk from Greenway, Poland, named Greenway Charging Infrastructure Approach to the Electromobility Needs. I will ask Alex to unmute. So, Alex, can you hear us?
Yeah, I can hear you all. Hello, everyone. Can you hear me well?
Yeah, well, it seems that we can hear you from the very far behind. So if you can come a bit closer, okay?
Yeah, sure.
So you can start sharing your screen.
Okay.
Hold on. Okay. Yes, we can see your screen now.
Perfect. Hello, everyone. My name is Alexander Czapczyk. I'm head of sales in Greenway Infrastructure. And it is a pleasure to have this opportunity to meet you today and to be able to talk with you about the infrastructure and about